Hello Year 11, it's Mrs. Purcell. This is the video version of the live lesson that you would have had on Monday the 12th. This would be useful for anyone who missed the live lesson or elements of it went too quickly and you'd like to go over it again. It's just generally good for you for some revision. So to get you started on your Do Now, can you have a look at the different tasks for the different grades? If you're aiming for a grade 4, can you please create a list of all the words that have things in common with the word war? So you've got some examples there. So battle, weapon, artillery, etc. All this will be linked to lexical sets. Don't worry if you don't know what a lexical set is just yet. You will have a much clearer understanding soon. If you're aiming for a grade 5 or 6, can you create a list of words which have things in common with the word winter? And if you're aiming for a grade 7 or above, so choose either winter or war, it doesn't matter which one, but then I would like you to categorise that vocabulary into word types. And you've got an example there for words that have things in common with the word dance. So your verbs there are pirouette, leap, bow, extend, hold. Adjectives are graceful, supple, and your nouns there are limbs, head, joint, finale, applause, and fanfare. So pause the video now and give that a go. Today you'll be learning how to create effective lexical sets, and this is in order to add depth and tone to your creative writing, and we'll be doing this by looking at examples from literature and creating some of your own. So this here is the mark scheme, and this is to show you why lexical sets are important. So for a level 3, which is a grade 4 to 6, you need vocabulary chosen for effect with a range of devices. So lexical set is a device, and using a range of different vocabulary within your lexical set obviously helps your vocabulary. And to get that higher grade, so grade 7 to 9, so a level 4, you need to be using extensive and ambitious vocabulary with sustained crafting of linguistic devices. So once again, lexical set is a perfect way of doing that. So what is a lexical set? Now, for anyone who doesn't know, it is when a group of words linking to one topic are used to describe something else, usually for descriptive effect. So we've got a good example here. There was a battle in the sky between light and dark, night and day. The sun sent out one last blast of fire in the horizon before eventually surrendering to the shadows. As you can see, all the words in red that are highlighted in red are linked to war. So even though we're describing this sunrise, actually it's linked as almost like a battle between night and day. So it's really helped enhance the descriptions. Okay, we're about to read an extract from A Christmas Carol. If you're aiming for a grade 4, can you copy out 5 words that link to winter or the cold? If you're aiming for a grade 5 to 6, copy out 8 words that link to winter or cold. And if you're aiming for a grade 7, I'd still like you to find some words that link to winter or cold, but I'd also like you to see if there are any allusions made to other characters, events or settings from other fictional works. Here is our text. The cold within him froze his old features, nipped his pointed nose, shrivelled his cheek, stiffened his gait, made his eyes red, his thin lips blue, and spoke out shrewdly in his grating voice. A frosty rime was on his head, and on his eyebrows, and his wiry chin. He carried his own low temperature always about with him. He iced his office in the dog days and didn't thaw it 1 degree at Christmas. External heat and cold had little influence on Scrooge. No warmth could warm, no wintry weather chill him. No wind that blew was bitterer than he. No falling snow was more intent upon its purpose. No pelting rain less open to entreaty. Foul weather didn't know where to have him. The heaviest rain and snow and hail and sleet could boast of the advantage over him in only one respect. They often came down handsomely, and Scrooge never did. So hopefully you've managed to find some vocabulary. If you're aiming for a grade 4, I'd like you to answer these 2 questions. So what are the 3 most important words which are used to describe Scrooge? And write 2 sentences explaining what Winter and Scrooge have in common. So why are they similar? If you're aiming for a grade 5 or 6, explore in detail 3 sentences how this lexical set portrays something deeper about Scrooge's personality and his past experiences, and what impression does it give us of his character. And finally, if you're aiming for a grade 7 or above, can you explain the effect of the illusion? Here is the text. Pause the video now to give the questions a go. Let's go through some answers. So for number 1, this is a wonderful piece of writing as we have many words which are linked to the lexical set of winter and snow. Some of them are cold, froze, nipped, shriveled, stiffened, blue, frosty, low temperature, iced, thaw, Christmas, wintry, chill, wind, bitterer, snow, rain, foul weather, heaviest rain, snow, hail and sleet. As you can see, there's so much there in just these 2 paragraphs. The 3 that I chose, which I thought were most effective, were lips blue, low temperature, as in he carried his low temperature about with him, and bitterer, in terms of no wind that blew was bitterer than he. So for number 2, this is an effective way to describe Scrooge, as it shows what a cold-hearted person he is. He makes people feel uncomfortable by being greedy and selfish. Number 3, the lexical set describing his cold office and himself represents the kind of cold, detached and selfish person Scrooge is on the inside. It reflects his frosty attitude towards people and his lack of warmth and empathy. His past experiences make up the kind of person he is. Therefore, we can infer that he treated people appallingly in the past, that it is a cold within Scrooge created by him, which he is demonstrating externally. And finally, for number 4, the literary allusion is that of Jack Frost, whose character came about in the 19th century, the same period of A Christmas Carol. Jack Frost is a personification of frost, ice, snow, sleet, winter, and just generally freezing cold. It is Jack Frost who causes the nips of noses and shrivels cheeks, just like it's described in the text that the cold within Scrooge is doing to himself. Jack Frost is often seen as a sinister character, therefore he has much in common with Scrooge. Okay, hopefully you've seen how effective it is to have a lexical set of something else when describing the particular thing you want to describe, as often there is a similarity there. So if you are aiming for a grade 4, what I would like you to do is use the lexical set of war or battle to describe a playground. So hopefully you've got some vocabulary already from your do now. We've got some in this green box here, which you're more than welcome to use as well. If you're aiming for a grade 5 or 6, I want you to describe an elderly character using the lexical set of winter. So really think about, there's that saying, being in the winter of your life, so being at the end of an era. Think about all the things that our aging might have in common with winter. For instance, trees suddenly being bare and losing their leaves could be like hair falling out. So really think about that. And finally, for a grade 7, this one's a bit challenging, but if you can describe the same sort of elderly character, but as well as writing about winter, you can interweave a second lexical set in there and talk about the moon. So perhaps the crater in the moon can seem like the wrinkles on someone's face. Maybe you can talk about the pale colour of their skin, etc. Okay, pause the video now. Okay, to finish off, I'd like you to count and underline the number of words that you have linked to your lexical set. Hopefully you've seen how effective using a lexical set can be to enhance your descriptions. When you've finished, can you please forward your work on to your teacher for some feedback? Well done, Year 11. Bye.